This is what I do.
Hello, and welcome back to the Ask the Color Expert podcast. Today's special guest is Patrick Blickman, the CEO of a brand new software application that is blowing my mind. As a 30-year salon owner, 35 years in the beauty industry, there has never been a product that has gotten me this excited. So we're not going to talk about just hair color today. We're going to talk about having something working on your business 24/7 while you are sleeping, filling all of those annoying holes in your book. Welcome, Patrick. I'm so excited to share this amazing product with my audience and introduce you to all of them. So thank you. Thank you for coming to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And what kind words. Yeah, it's been an exciting run thus far, but to hear that you're excited about Reach.ai is amazing. And looking forward to talking to you a little bit more about it today and some of the ways we complement some other great tools that I'm sure in the systems that many of your listeners are using. So thanks for having me, Elaine.
It's my pleasure. I mean, when things come along that simplify our lives as salon owners wear many hats and it can be really exhausting. Most salon owners have what they refer to in the E-Myth as an entrepreneurial seizure. You're really good at doing a
Yep.
service. And then you're like,
Yep.
wow, I should do my own thing, man. I should go on my
Right.
own. And then it becomes this great big idea. And you had no idea you were going to be, a disciplinarian, someone who has to hire, train, fire, set up systems, payroll, insurance, all of the things. So anything that you can bring into my world to simplify it in a tech perspective that I don't have to monitor on my own is a gift to our industry. So it's super exciting. Me not being, well, I always say I'm not techie, but I am. I have an online
I was going
community
to
of
say you're
education.
pretty shrewd
Yeah,
when it comes to the technologies. As far as
I'm better than I give myself credit
that's
for
right.
sure, especially for my age. I mean, my kids used to cringe when I was starting to do virtual education. I remember calling my son and I was trying to use QuickTime Player on my Mac to record a
Oh yeah,
lesson with
quick
slides.
time
And
player. That's right. Yep.
I recorded the entire course on the wrong microphone. It used the built-in microphone on the Mac that's shit. And I had
Sure.
this really good
Yep.
microphone, but I didn't click whatever. And he's like, Mom. And it was hours of recording. I said, I'm not doing it over. That's it. They can hear me. It's
One
fine.
run, one take. That's it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So I've come a long way with my technology, but never have I ever been introduced to something like this where I don't have to think about it at all. What you're offering to us in our industry is something that I used to spend all of my days off, my weekends, my holidays, just stalking, for lack of a better word, our appointment schedule and
Sure.
finding these annoying last minute openings and holes, and then manually trying to think in my head or maybe go back 5 weeks in the schedule and say, oh, Virginia was in that day and she doesn't have an appointment. And let me reach out to her because I didn't want to spam my whole list constantly for these holes, but I wanted to get them filled. So when we first became computerized and had our online booking, we're like, this is awesome. Every time we have a last minute thing, we just send out an e-blast to our whole list and invite them to come and fill the appointment. It
Sure.
created
Yeah.
a shit show because people that were already scheduled were now upset because they're like, well, I'm
Yep.
being punished for booking ahead. This
That's right.
person who's last minute is getting all of these rewards. So
That's
I'm
right.
going to shut up now and let you talk about how it all works because I'm so excited about it, but I think you're better
Sure.
at explaining the step-by-step stuff.
No, I'll tell you what, Elaine, you nailed it. And it's funny, technology has come so far so fast that we even say, there's been great tools out for a little while, but there was a lot of manual intervention required. And so not only do you have to be great in your shop, but now you have to be great at all these new technologies. And to your point, you're also balancing the needs of your staff and your clients and trying to put all that together in an efficient way every single day is definitely overwhelming. What we've done here at Reach.ai is go one step further. So the idea being get the intelligence into the software. So it's doing a lot of those things that you were doing manually. I hate to say better, but computers are a little bit faster and better at looking at each client uniquely instead of doing the blast and pray technique that you were describing earlier. But I think the most important thing that we do is automate that process. So instead of you needing to go in there every single day or having your managers or staff trying to get into the system and manage it, our system's constantly learning. So it's really built on machine learning, meaning every single client, as they go through your business, we call those buying cycles. And our software is actually able to recognize different patterns in each client, whether it be their due or overdue patterns. And it'll send an email or a text message accordingly, letting them know, hey, it's time to come in and see us. And we have this specific time available. Would you like it? Yes or no? Again, things that your clients are used to receiving. It is coming on behalf of your business. It is coming on behalf of that technician or stylist in many cases. So it's personal, but it's not sending out just blast messaging. So your existing pre-book clientele are going to be happy because they're going to stay, motivated to continue to do that. We know that's best practice. But if somebody were to have not booked or they get lost somewhere along the way, maybe they get busy with the COVID pandemic of their family, the system will recognize that and just send them a nice text message, one, maybe two a month. So it's not like you're sending an overwhelming amount of communications because it knows exactly when that client wants to open that message, when they're due or overdue, and when the likelihood of them booking is based on what they've done in the past. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's amazing because we had a holiday celebration at a local Italian restaurant and we rented out their top floor and we were having a really nice night. And this adorable, handsome 20-something boy was there and he was related to one of our staff members and he had come in
Okay.
for a haircut. And she said, I want you to meet my boss. And he goes, oh, I get so many emails from you. I had to
Yeah.
unsubscribe to your list. And I was like, ouch. I thought that
Right.
I was giving good service by saying, hey, here's an opening, come see us. And you haven't been in kind of thing. And I used to way back in the beginning of my business, I would do a postcard. I would manually
Yep.
go through the card file and say, this person hasn't been in. And usually it was, we don't know they're missing until it's been 6 or more months. It's
Right.
embarrassing. And every
Right.
hairstylist will tell you that you're plugging
Yep.
along and you're busy and you're booked and you're like, I'm good. And then all of a sudden you have
Yep.
crickets, you'll have like a weird week. And then you're like, wait a minute,
Right.
Maureen hasn't been in. She's my favorite. Where the heck has she
Yep.
been? And now
Yep.
Maureen's like, hey, you didn't even notice me. I've been gone for 6 months. I'm not coming back.
Right.
So the postcard, the manual, the doing all of that, it comes off a little needy and desperate. And, you start to believe, I just spoke to one of my students. She reached out and she said, I have a client who hasn't been in 4 months. Can you help me word an email to her to ask her, where has she been? And I said, I'm happy to. And I helped her word it. And I said, however, don't let it go that long again. And I gave her your information. I said, reach out to this company. They're going to do all that for you. Cause she's one person. She's a
Sure.
sole,
Yeah.
stylist in a suite setup. And, she doesn't have the time to do all these kind of things. So you're filling a lot of voids that have been there for a long time in our industry. And it's incredible. I mean, I can't wait until you're compatible with every single software because when I tell
Yeah.
people about it, I'm like, the only thing you could possibly not want this for is if you can't have it. And it
Right.
doesn't
Right.
pair with your software yet, and to the point where I think it's worth switching software is a nightmare, but it's worth switching software to have the ability to use this service. It's that important to your business because new client acquisition costs 10 times more than retaining a client. So
Yep.
most clients don't mean to go away. They forget to schedule
Yep.
with you and then they try to get in. You don't know that they tried to get in. They're told no, and then they're forced to go elsewhere. And then somebody might give them, a little more special treatment because they were new
That's
to
right.
them. And
That's
then
right.
shame on you for letting that happen. So
Yeah, you really hit it on the head again, right? I mean, when we're talking about people, they want to feel that one-to-one relationship, feel like they're the most important client. And we know running a business day to day, that's very difficult to do. If we start to trust the idea that technology is going to be able to really do that, but not lose the personalization, not lose that human side. It sounds a little weird these days, but it is possible to let us automate some of those communications. And really, we're not taking away some of the ways you want to send out a newsletter, do if you still wanted to do those things, say hello to your clients in different ways, or maybe offer a product promotion, absolutely. But what Reach is going to do is fill those communication gaps, as you mentioned, that you're currently trying to do manually. It's also going to make sure that your clients don't fall away. We talk about 6 months. We founded the company. we asked a lot of the leading businesses around the health and beauty space, what would you say a lost client is? And overwhelmingly, it was 6 months. And then we say, okay, why 6 months? And they say, well, that just seems to be a reasonable amount of time. And obviously, there's some facts and data that supports that number, but that's not the same for every client. And so what Reach actually has is an ability to recognize what's an at-risk client, and that's based on their service cadence, their patterns. And so Reach will recognize that on a one-to-one relationship instead of just saying, hey, on this average, we're going to send out this communication. And so again, there's tools out there that this will work alongside. You mentioned scheduling software companies. We're fortunate to say that we are integrated with, in our opinion, the leading businesses around the country. We have some that are coming to market, just finishing the integration. But yes, we want to work with the best. We know clients of ours have said that we want to use technology the right way. But you're right. I mean, using Reach allows you to kind of relax, focus on your clients, make sure you're giving them the top service in the locations. And that goes from one provider all the way up to, we have multi-locations with 200 plus staff coming in and out on a daily basis. Reach can adapt to either one without any difference in the setup or the upkeep at all.
So what does setup look like when I say yes, I want Reach in my life? What is the time frame from when I say yes to when it's working for me while I'm sleeping?
Awesome. Yeah, at 15 minutes. The reality
Wow.
is what we've done with Reach is we've allowed your online booking settings, your marketing settings to be what Reach looks at inside your scheduling software. So because we're integrated so deeply, there's no need to go back and reset things up differently. Now, if there's a few tweaks you want to make, certainly our client success and onboarding team will walk you through that. But on average, 15 minutes. And that means that your system's ready to go. It's going to start sending communications out usually that next morning based on the historical data. So we're actually able to see what your clients have done based on what you have stored in your system. So again, yeah, really cool. Our data science team and integrations team here has really taken us to that next level in our ability to make things easy. You don't need to keep things up if you have staff that leave temporarily, are off the schedule. Any of those adjustments you're making in your scheduling software, Reach recognizes in real time. So there's no need to inform Reach if somebody calls out or does something differently. You're going to manage all appointments in your scheduling software. Even the appointments Reach books, those all go right into your schedule too. So there's no change in how you're running your business. Reach is just using this data to better message your clients behind the scenes. It's coming from your business. It's booked by us on behalf of your business. And then it pushes right into your scheduling software.
That is absolutely amazing. And how does it reach out to the clients? Is there the ability to text or is it email or both?
Great question, both, right? And what we're going to make sure of is our texts are extremely limited. I think we're all as consumers realizing that businesses are starting to use text a little bit more frequently. It's a great communication method because of course it's real time. You're going to see it on your phone. That being said, we do not want to be that company that's causing customers or clients to say, wait a minute, we're getting too much from Elaine. What's going on? So again, there's caps on how much Reach will reach out to a client. Right now, the maximum text messages a client could possibly receive in a month from Reach is 4. And that would be only if they're due and overdue for services and meet very specific criteria. There's many cases a client won't receive any communications because they're pre-booked and they're ready to go. Emails, again, we have limits on what we're sending, but we do work a little bit more with the email language to make clients understand, hey, you may be coming in for this service. We have some extra time on the front of the back end. There's some fun things we're doing with Reach to try and keep the appointment book even more full, offer additional services and upsells on behalf of the business, so long as those are set up in your scheduling software for online booking. So email and text are the two ways we go to reach out to your clients.
So the first thing that a control freak like me and other people who have their own businesses, their concern is always, how's this computer bot going to know how much time my client needs? But you already answered that, saying it's going to look at their last appointment and see how they were booked and how long it takes.
Yeah.
So you've already answered that argument. The other thing
I can actually, go ahead, Elaine. I have one thing to add to that, just real quick, to make sure we're clear. What Reach is able to do, if you have your system set up for individual client timeframes, Reach can understand those. Now, if there's certain services, let's say we're getting into the color world, obviously in this podcast, we want to make sure we focus on that. Reach will recognize that some of those services are a little bit more complex, and it will actually prompt the client to call your business on the main number. So it can still track all that, but we wanted to make sure we did not put ourselves in a situation where we're pushing a client to automatically book. They will call your business. They will let them know that, yeah, hey, I received a text message that da da da. And now, Elaine, you will get that phone call so you can properly schedule them in. Now, again, some of that is based on which scheduling software tool you're using and how the integration looks. But for the most part, everything's automated to book right in the Reach tool. If not, you're going to get a click to call right into your business.
Now, you've already thought of everything. There's really no
Hardly,
reason
but we're getting
not
there.
to do it. I was blown away by your guarantee. I work with a lot of different companies. Most of them disappoint me regularly, especially a lot of the color companies. You know, the loyalty programs, you know, it's kind of like when you take your kids to the arcade and you spend $50 and they get a pencil with a troll on the end of it $50 later.
Or the overstuffed doll that breaks in 2 seconds in the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we've been made to feel as the salon owner, with how much money we're spending with all these manufacturers and how little we get in return. So here you are, a new company that is going to generate money for us. You're not taking money from us, you're generating money for us.
Correct.
And your guarantee is absolutely like crazy no brainer. Sure. So talk about that and share your amazing guarantee with that people have absolutely nothing to lose to try this platform.
Yeah, no, that's right, Elaine. I mean, I've run multiple small businesses myself. We know every dollar counts, especially now coming out of post-pandemic time period, right? We're trying to balance everything. So we wanted to build a company that was never a risk to a small business. You will never lose money with Reach. If we don't at the minimum double your investment with us every single month, you wouldn't pay a dime. But I want to go one step beyond that while we're on this podcast. You know, you can always cancel with Reach. There's never a term commitment. There's never contracts. If you don't like what we're doing, call anytime, let us know. Even if you've already paid a monthly fee. Now, again, these things honestly don't often happen, but we really want to make sure the health and beauty space understands we're here to help. It will work for you. We do guarantee that. If for some reason it's not the right fit for your business, call us. We take care of it. We want to be partners in this space for a long time. And so there should never be a fear to try it. We want to get in there, show you what we're capable of doing, and then keep doing that month over month. So that it's not just, hey, sign up now and then we're going to rope you in. If you don't like us 5 months from now, same rules apply. But I think most of our clients are saying that they're enjoying it, and we're hoping to continue to improve the product. So over time, you're getting more value for the same money.
That's amazing. I mean, even, you know, the gyms that are popping up that are, you know, no money down, no this, no that, you still feel like you're making this huge commitment, you know, and that always is the barrier of entry to anything new, is someone feeling like they're stuck. Even with my own hair color membership, you know, I offer a monthly and an annual. I always recommend the annual because when people go all in, they're committed to it and it's more of a mentorship.
Sure.
People get really leery because they're like, I don't know you. I don't know what you're going to offer me. I don't want to commit for a year. So I give them both. And of course, I always guarantee everything. I'm like, I never believed in non-compete contracts for hair salons because I don't want somebody working for me that feels like they're stuck in a jail sentence,
right?
You know,
they're
going to put off that energy in the salon. So I love that there's actually no risk. And I mean, 15 minutes to set up, I would have thought that it's a lot more complicated.
We've come a long way.
When
we started, it was about 40 minutes and we keep improving it. I think you mentioned a great point, you know, thinking about time periods and commitments. You know, there's certainly value in different things. With us being this new technology, I think it's understood what we do in this space, but because we're one of the first to do it, we also want to make it, you know, an opportunity for people to say, okay, I think I understand it. But with all these big work, you know, algorithms and intelligent software and automation, you know, okay, maybe it sounds too good to be true. I'm not sure I want to commit to that kind of monthly structure unless we get there. That's another reason why we did it. I think that the reality is we're booking from day one. You see the value from day one. If, again, you ever choose to walk away, you're still going to have received that value. So, you know, we're trying to be a trusted player in the space. We have over 1,400 businesses live now in the United States. 3,000 have signed up. So it's just a question of getting everybody onboarded. That's how many people are signing up. So again, we want to put our everybody's trust with us and make sure that people are getting value every month of what we're doing.
That's amazing. So I'm going to put in the show notes. A lot of people listen to podcasts on the treadmill
Sure.
in their car and they don't have a pen. So I'll be sure to include the link that they can reach out to you and get the 30 days free and the demonstration.
Absolutely.
So if they have any other questions, you'll be the handsome face walking them through their onboarding. So that's amazing. I'm
Thanks,
excited. I'm
Elaine.
excited for other salon owners to utilize this platform and really free up their free time, because it's one less job. It's an important job. That time you can't get back. Once that gap is there, it's there. And at the end of the year, when you look back, it's like, oh, if I only could have filled that time. So
Yep.
it's a definite need. It's not just a shiny new object. It's a need in every business that, people are crazy not to try. So thank you for bringing it to the podcast.
Absolutely. And Elaine, one last point,
Sure.
you're always talking about color, and I know that's, kind of where you are and where you live, and that's your sweet spot. I just want to mention, in a lot of the businesses I've consulted with over the years, getting those services to online capability is usually a big hesitation. And so what we found is this is a nice way to dip your toe, so to speak, into the water and say, I don't have to display these on my website or anywhere else. But what Reach can do is it actually can see the setup in the back end. You can make sure that Reach is only doing the click to call feature, and you can start to say, okay, I'm getting the benefit of my clients being reached out to without the risk of having these services that are going to be booked in the wrong way. So we also thought of that recently, that just was released last month. I just want to make sure on this specific podcast I brought that up because I think it might be helpful for your listeners more than most.
Well, once you catch up on onboarding your thousands of new members, you have to invent a robot shampoo assistant. That's the only other big
I'll tell you what, we'll put it in the backlog. We'll try.
Man. Siri, please take down their spoils.
We'll try. I'm telling you, Siri's hearing you right now. They're probably taking notes themselves, right?
Exactly. So, yes. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and for introducing this amazing new product.
Thank you, Elaine.
And I hope that everybody reaches out and gives it a shot. It's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it as always. And anybody, even if you have any questions and you're not quite sure if it's time to sign up, I'd be happy to talk to you personally. Elaine, I'm sure you can pass along our contact information, but any listener of yours is somebody that we'd love to help in any way we can. So thanks again for having me, Elaine. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you on the next one.